What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Battlefield Project podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Rhoda, and we are the podcast for people who understand that life is a battle and only the strong will thrive. I'm joined by my good buddy here, Dave Comley, who I'm going to introduce in a couple minutes here. But before I do, as is the case with all episodes, I just ask one favor of everybody, and that's if you're watching this episode and the message is resonating with you and or you feel like this message might resonate with someone in your life that you love and care for, please share the show with them. That's the entire purpose and intent of this podcast, is basically just to create a massive ripple effect in the universe and inspire people through the stories of my awesome guests who come on here and are willing to be vulnerable and share their battles, that no one goes through life untouched. Every single human being on this earth has some kind of battle that they fight, whether it's consistently or it's a one-off battle, but the strong, happy ones are the ones who fight their way through those battles. So I'm fortunate enough to know a lot of cool people, Dave included here, who you're going to meet in a second, who are willing to jump on this podcast with me and share those battles to inspire all of you out there to fight your way through and to live a better life. So without further ado, I'm going to read Dave's bio here. Dave Comley is recently divorced and has one amazing kid, Olivia, who is 9 and is the perfect mix of both her mother and her father. He considers himself a 40-year-old dude who's learning how to start life over. Dave has 2 dogs, Jenny, his lifesaver, and a little one named Peter. He refuses to let the devil bring him down again, as he almost lost that battle on November 18th, 2022. Dave, man, thanks for being here, brother. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So yeah, man, the floor is yours. I'm excited to hear the story of yours. I have a feeling it's going to resonate with quite a few people, and then let's hear it, brother.
Yeah, see, yeah, it all really started probably around, I guess, June of like last year, like probably before that. Like it's pretty much when I stopped doing 75 hard and like exercising because I was just tired of everything. And that when you stop doing that stuff and then stop eating right and stop reading books, really, and then your mind starts going south. And I just started just feeling like totally worthless. And it's like, what's even point? And I just fell further and further down the rabbit hole, really. It just like I'm done with this life. And I just kept on getting worse and worse. And then we my wife and I, well, I guess ex-wife or whatever you call it, but she we got her grandmother's house. So we moved in there, and like she's just like makes you feel like you're just like a total turd. Maybe that's my head, I don't know, but it was just like I just felt worthless there. Like it was just totally useless being around. So I just sat for the longest time just on the porch, doing little things around the house. But I sat on my porch, shut everybody out. It's like, and that's how most men are. Once everybody's quiet, everybody just shuts down, and that was like a big warning sign. But no one was there to save me, and everybody had asked, like, "Hey, you all right? You all right?" I'm like, yeah, "I'm fine." That's the typical word, "fine." That's like
Yep.
the biggest red flag you would ever get. And actually working with my buddy Brad, he I haven't seen him for about 2 years, and he come up to me, or he come on the job site. He's like, "Dude, what's wrong? There's something wrong." I'm good. He's like, "No, I know what's wrong. Something's going on." And then we're talking a little bit. He's like, "I know what you need." He's like, "You need a hug." And man, I got the biggest, best hug. And like me being a sheet metal worker in the construction field, guys don't show emotions. Like if he would have held on to me for like a few more seconds, I would have just lost it in his shoulders. And that was probably the best hug I got in the longest time. He knew exactly what I needed because he was there. He's like, "I know the signs." And so we like after that, man, it was just like it's just rough. I just kept on getting darker and darker and trying to figure it out. And then we go, I passed this place, the first place I've ever seen with like the best stars. It's literally 5 minutes where I'm staying now. Like I'd stop there every morning and look at the stars. And then I noticed on Thursdays, they have a sign to put out. It says the park's closed for some reason, no clue. So I was like, started getting the idea. I'm sitting on the porch alone with nobody there to even talk to. I'm like, that's the place I'm going to do it. Because park rangers are just like cops. They're used to seeing this stuff. So on a Friday morning, I was going to go there with my gun, sit my seat back, pull in my spot, and just let it loose and end it there. Because I'm like, the park ranger going to see me. No regular person going to see me because nobody wants to see that. Of course, not even the cop would want to see that. But I didn't know at that time, being so dark, man. Like, I had no clue. So that morning I woke up. I'm like, it's today. For some reason, Jenny, my newest dog, she just was all over me, just giving me that extra loving that I needed, the extra licks, I'm like, dude, I can't do this to her. Even though I had a daughter, but still, like, I wasn't talking to anybody. So she distanced herself too. And I'm like, man, I can't do this. And like, I can't do this to her because Jenny's just a crazy dog. And I knew that my wife, or ex-wife, whatever, she would put her in a pound, get rid of her because she's hard to handle. And like, that day, I didn't do it. Jenny started calming down. It was the weirdest thing ever. Like, she's a totally different dog now, It's just weird how it is, how God sends you like the thing that needs saved now. And I wasn't supposed to ever get a dog again. I didn't want a dog after my Basset Hound passed away. And I was like, nope. And the vet was telling me, he's like, hey, the right dog will come along at the right time. You'll see. And I had no clue what he really meant and who knew that the right dog would come at the right time to save my life. I just thought it was just going to be a nice lap dog or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like everybody is fighting a battle you have no clue about. That's why we shouldn't be judging no one.
How
Because
did
we're
you?
just all regular people.
Yeah, brother. How did Jenny come into your life? Did you go like looking for her, or was it like someone it just presented to itself
Yeah.
to you?
See, here's another good story too. We had a dog named Willow. She was probably about 20 pounds. It's a tan, like beagle mutt looking thing. Awesome, sweetest dog in the world. Last February she started with getting a back problem. We took her to the vet, and she was only like 6 or 7, and they said that she just jacked up her disc or something. Give her these painkillers, whatever, anti-inflammatory. She'll be fine. Don't even bother coming back in 6 weeks. And she started getting worse and worse and worse to the point where she pretty much lost her legs. So we ended up having to put her down for that. And I mean, that was rough, because I mean, putting a dog down is never fun, never a good time. But if it wasn't for her, like, that's another thing I think is part of God's plan, having Willow sacrifice herself so I can pick this dog up, because he knew the ultimate plan, what was going to happen down the road.
Yep.
Because if it wasn't for Willow sacrificing her life, I wouldn't have Jenny, and we wouldn't be doing this right here.
Yeah.
Because once I got that dark, my wife at the time and my daughter, they weren't there to save me. They had no clue because I shut down. I don't talk. It's just me. That's how I've been ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
It's like that's how I dealt with problems ever since my first trauma. It just like you try to open up. I remember opening up my parents about it, and they're like, "We got our own problems, so you got to figure it out yourself." So after that, I'm like, "All right." So you learn.
I'll deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the name of your buddy who gave you the hug?
Brad.
Brad. Well, it's
Yeah,
all
I tell him all the time. I tell everybody about it.
yeah.
Because I mean, he had the same thing. I remember him telling me a story that he actually ran in front of a truck
Wow.
and tried to end his own self.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. Everybody's fighting something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in construction, so I work with a lot of hardcore dudes
Yeah.
at break time, they end up going to the truck and have a few drinks just to take the edge off, everybody's fighting demons. Just try to make life a little better.
Yep. Yeah, man. I think Brad deserves a quick shout out and a moment of gratitude because I think, if you're listening to this, if you're not relating to Dave's story in terms of like you've ever been in that dark place and, thought about ending your life because it's kind of like, what's the point of all this? You very well might have someone in your life who is in that space. So if that's the case, look, like, if you sense it, be Brad and reach out to that person and touch that person. Because, I know like Jenny, that, your dog that morning, it sounds like very impactfully and deliberately saved your life through her actions. But who knows, maybe had Brad not given you that hug and like been that friend, a couple weeks or months earlier, maybe Jenny doing that morning wouldn't have been enough to stop you. So maybe it was Brad and Jenny, like the combination of those, like a human being loving you so much and a dog loving you so much that saved you. So I encourage everybody out there to look around and to sense your loved ones if they're struggling and to offer that help. Because like you said, man, and this is for men and women alike, but I think a lot of people bottle stuff up and just think like I don't want to put pressure or stress on someone else by telling them my problems. They've got their own problems. But you got to be that friend, that family member who reaches out and is like, hey, I can sense something's off. Like, what can I do for you? And even if it's something as simple yet as powerful as a hug, that can put your life on a whole nother trajectory, man. Like proof and point you. It's incredible.
Yeah, hands down. I mean, I talk about the power of a hug all the time. Like I'm known ever since a kid giving the biggest, best hugs around there. Like everybody knows me. They get a hug from me, they're gonna know they're getting a hug.
Yeah.
It's well, like dude, that guy that gives you that big old handshake that breaks your hand, but I mean, it's just that big old, nice, warm hug.
I met you at very briefly at Kyle Slaymaker Summit last October, and we weren't like friends. Like I think we were Facebook friends at that point, but
really I mean, I was fighting it then too,
Yeah, man,
I was fighting it. I was dark then. I was just like, man, I don't know why am I here. I can't wait for this one. I got the VIP ticket, so I'm on.
I'll say next time I see you at that event, man, we're hugging it because I love hugs too, dude. Like I'm a big believer in just like the power of that human connection, and it's like your heart touches their heart, you get your energy shared. Like I'm a big advocate of that, dude. So I love that.
Just like during that crap where that happened like 2-3 years ago, all that dumb stuff, like I'm like, I don't care, I'm still hugging somebody. I'm like, I don't care. As long as you're not bleeding all over me, I don't care.
Exactly. Or like, snot and stuff.
Let me hold my breath if I have to.
Let me ask you this, because you mentioned 75 hard had kind of given you some purpose, and then when that ended, you started kind of floating around and losing that vision and purpose in your life. Now that you've experienced the ups and now the very big down, and now you're back up, like, are you doing 75 hard, or is it like what about your life now are you looking at and going? Or maybe you're not, but I feel like you are, because like I see your post now and I feel like your energy's shifted pretty drastically.
Oh yeah.
What is it about now, like where you're at, that you're like, I mean, I know you can't predict the future, but like, could you ever like put yourself back in your shoes that Friday morning and be like, I'll get that dark again, maybe where like I want to end it? Or are you just like, that chapter's closed and now you've got a whole new lease on life?
Oh, I will be opening up. If I even have a remote feeling, I'm opening up right away. I was even telling like my in-laws, I was with them, they're like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm fine, I mean, which is true. I mean, I'm doing a lot, 10 times better now. It's like, I'm in that stage right now. It's like, why did this happen to me? Well, long story short is that she was unloyal, and she's pretty much engaged to a dude while we're still married. So, and the dude looks just like me, but when he was probably 350 pounds, when I was 350 pounds. So, just weird how she has a type, but whatever. I'm over. It don't matter. Even the day she told me, I was just like, I knew it. Whatever. Don't bother me. I was already out of it. I was pulling myself up, But she, so I was talking to her. I was like, why did this happen to me? And she's like, we're in that stage too, because she's an only child, and she just apologized to me, not the ex-wife, but mother-in-law. She just apologized, said sorry that was happening. I'm like, it's just crazy. They never had this. Like I was supposed to die in that house. I was supposed I was texting my father-in-law. He's like, I keep looking up there every time I mow grass, thinking you're gonna be up there on Pop-Up's tractor mowing it, and nope. I ain't mowing that grass for her now. I mean, even though it needs it. Nope.
Life had different plans.
Back to the fitness thing. I met a buddy. It was, how you get those random friend requests, and then bam, like, oh man, this is going to be one of them sales guys. I knew it, but no, it ended up being an awesome guy. I always mess up his name. I think his name is Remo. It's like REIMO. He's on. He just got an ABEX. He did the 6-month thing. Hopefully, he stays full time. And he's a big fitness guy like you are, like, and he's got me on kettlebell workouts and he's got me walking afterwards because I got beat up knees now. Ever since I lost weight, my knees suck. It's like, how's that even
Go
happen?
figure.
When I was
Yeah.
250 pounds, I had no knee problems. Maybe because I didn't move that. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
But I got the horriblest knees anymore. But yeah, I'm doing that every day. It gives me off on the weekends, but I still walk. I walk around the campground. I'm at a KOA in Coatesville, PA.
Oh,
So I'm
you're
like
that close
14
to
minutes
us.
away from my daughter. So
I don't know why I didn't know
yeah,
you were that close.
yeah,
I had no
I'm
idea
still
you were.
close.
I say that's like 45 minutes down the street from us,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Even when I was in Elkton, Maryland, I was still an hour from Lancaster. I did a lot of work in Lancaster in the schools.
Okay.
Yeah, in the city where all
Nice.
the crazy thugs are at.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
know you know the area because you called it Lancaster properly, not Lancaster or whatever the
yeah.
fuck all is. Like as soon as
Oh,
you
I
sound like
corrected somebody.
the dude knows.
Yeah, I corrected somebody. She's like, "Oh, the Germans say it, Lancaster." Okay, I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay, that's fine." She sounded all mean. I'm like, "All right, we'll stop here."
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't know
exactly.
that.
That's
Yeah,
awesome, dude.
yeah,
Cool, man.
but yeah.
Well,
So I've been doing that. I've been down. I forget how long I've been doing it with them, but I've been down like a month, probably a month or so, maybe 2 months tops, like 10, 12 pounds right now. So
beautiful.
I'm finally getting it dialed in where I got like life together because the past 2, 3 weeks we've been working tens every day, even Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to do anything,
Yeah.
and that's a 45-minute drive to work back and forth now.
Is your daughter
But
back
I
in your
got
life
my
now?
goals. Yeah, yeah, she's actually in the camper right now, hanging out.
Beautiful.
We're getting ready to go out. I took off today. We're getting ready to go to Arnold's up in Oaks to go to an arcade,
Oh, cool.
and then the buddy's house after that. So yeah, we always have fun. She comes over a lot.
Yeah. Beautiful, man.
That's one thing I won't. It's not one of those dramatic divorces or whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, it shouldn't be because if she does, I mean, I can really run her through the ringer being like unloyal to the marriage, But
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I just want a fresh slate. Let her have a fresh slate,
Yep.
Her be
Move
happy,
on.
me be happy,
That's it, brother.
and hold Olivia back, I'll be fine. Which I
Yeah.
know she won't, you
Yeah.
know.
Man,
Yeah, so
where
just, you guys.
yeah. Where can people connect with you online, man? Because and you also real quick before you do like little tiny miniature car rehab like
Yes.
things. Tell our audience about that super quick because I
Yeah.
see you do that. I'm like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I do these little slot cars. I know everybody that's older than us know that about them. They're electric slot cars that run on a racetrack. They're like the size of a matchbox car. And I build drag cars for like a drag strip. And I'm probably, I would say, top two in the nation, I would say, building. Because I know my buddy Sarge, he's a lot better because he does automotive paint and he takes a little bit extra time. I build a lot of cars real quick.
Yeah.
And they're really good. But yeah, I've been building them probably about 4 or 5 years now, probably 4.
Okay.
And I've sold 4,500 so far. Like
Wow.
I got a pretty good following, and I've only kept 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I think about maybe I'll keep this one. And somebody asks me, "Is this for sale?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's for sale. You can buy it."
Take it. Yeah.
So I just started my first ones in the camper, and I'm like, I know for a fact I'm the only one that's ever built a car in a camper.
The
But
car camper guy.
yeah, it's just Comley's Customs, on Facebook. That's all I ever do. I don't do Instagram. I don't know how to operate Instagram.
Yeah.
But it's just Facebook. Just spell my name right. COM is in Michael L-A-Y. My stuff's public, so anybody can see anything I post. I don't hide nothing.
Okay. And I got your Facebook profile that I'll share in the show notes when I publish this too, so people can connect with you online. Because I think you're a good dude to connect with and be inspired by.
Definitely, because I'm just a construction worker, man, and like I'm not like this superior businessman. I'm just a regular guy in Apex,
Yeah.
But I'm there to help anybody out that I can. I know I can,
That's it, man. Yeah, I
So,
think,
yeah,
I mean, you label yourself just a regular guy. I think we're all
I
just
know
regular
that's
guys
like
and
I gotta
gals,
change that. I've always
but
everybody's like,
yeah,
you're not just a regular guy.
but we're all
I'm like,
super
everybody
powerful.
knows me. Like the other day, Stuman messaged me and told me, just gave me like a cheerful message.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's cool. Like even when I met him in New York, I was like, I was just starstruck, and he's like, Dave, right? And I'm like, oh wow, yeah,
yeah. Holy
And I was like,
crap.
that's
Yeah,
cool. And like, I'm like, I don't even know how to sell me. He's like, I got your phone. No, I'll do it.
yeah,
So it's just pretty cool, like this way, you got to stay connected to everybody.
yeah, absolutely, man. And share value where you can, no matter what that value is, whether
Yes.
it's business, personal, professional, whatever. Just give, give,
Yeah.
give, share value.
Most definitely, man. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
The givers gain.
that's it, brother.
That's how it is with the slot cars. If somebody asks me tips, I'm like, you don't even like or comment on any of my posts.
Yeah,
All you're always asking is tips, but yet I'll still give them to you. I want
yeah,
competition. So
yeah.
maybe I can create another competitor that makes me just a little bit better.
And say, push my envelope a little bit further.
Yeah, exactly. I'll help anybody. I don't care.
Yeah,
Take my ideas. But the car's never going to look like mine now.
that's it. Yep, you got your own personal touch, man.
Yeah.
Cool,
Yeah,
brother. Well,
definitely.
thank you very, very much for jumping on
I
here
appreciate it.
and sharing your story, dude. I have a feeling it's going to resonate with quite a few people from one of two angles. One, they've been in that dark space, or they know someone who is in that dark space. So I think your story, your message is going to be applicable to a whole lot of people. And I think I know you're an inspiration to just fight your way through it, man. Like get through that battle and life can get better the next day or even that day. Like you gotta find the silver lining and stuff. You gotta find the beauty in it. And when you do, it's all the reason you need, man. So I'm sure you've heard this a million
Oh, yeah,
times since that
definitely.
Friday, dude, but I'm really glad that Friday morning your dog gave you extra kisses and that you decided not to do what you were planning on doing and that now you're out in the world sharing value, inspiring people and living a great life, man.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I got that written on my mirror. Share my story.
Yeah.
I traced my hand too. It says "High Five Yourself" from that Mel Robbins book.
Yep.
I mean, that's just good enough as a hug for now. To start my
Until you
day
get
off
that
right.
next person. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, man. Awesome,
Yeah.
brother. Well, thank you for joining me. Deeply appreciated. I appreciate our friendship. And like I said earlier, anyone watching this, please share this with a friend or family member who this message might
Most
resonate
definitely.
with. Yeah, and
If they
let's
say
change the
I'm
world.
fine, they are not fine.
Yeah,
You
look for those red
know?
flags. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Don't ignore that. Just give them a hug. You don't have to speak to them. Just give them that hug.
Give them a hug. Let them know they're loved and cared for.
Yeah, man.
Awesome, brother. Well, thank you very much, Dave. I
Thank you.
appreciate it,
Thank you.
my friend. Yep. I'll see
Appreciate
you
it.
on the battlefield.